Lavelle Sanders, the former Seton Hall guard, at the controls for Binghamton. Hawks the gray, Binghamton the green, and we waste no time. Short hair for Jordan Hall.
I think it's the haircut, Matt.
And feeling
maybe
pretty
we
good.
should get one. I asked him, I said, what is it? He said, it was time. You know, sometimes it's mom or grandma who says, got to get a new look. He said, you know, new start with a homestand.
Knocked down 3 of them on Friday night in the win over Georgetown. 3-0 Hawks. Officiating crew tonight, Tony Crisp is the crew chief, Landon Brandis, Isaac Barnett. And what's only the second ever meeting between these two schools. Last one came during a Hawk NCAA tournament run during the 13-14 campaign. Good ball movement here to start. Funk shoveled it off of the hands of Hall in an SJU turnover.
Matt, I remember 2 things about that game. One was freshman DeAndre Bembry had a dunk which made SportsCenter top 10. And 2, middle of the first half, Chip Kelly got fired. And the entire building was staring at their phones.
That's right. McGriff, who's a St. John's transfer, quickly one and done for this Binghamton team. It's off of a blowout win over Hardwick College.
You take away those incredible offensive numbers, though, and Binghamton's stats are pretty lackluster.
Well, not lackluster has been the play of Edge Obina. 5-0 Hawks early. Obina picking up right where he left off. Yarden Willis getting Binghamton on the board. 7-foot center from Roswell, Georgia. He's wearing that face mask. Brown got the up and under and couldn't make the mid-range. Bertram looks to have touched that last. It'll stay at this end.
And for me, Matt, this is a building block kind of opportunity for the Hawks. You know, the split at the Wooden Legacy, decent showing against the Southern Cal team, which is going to be in the top 20 all year. And then say what you went about Georgetown being at the bottom of the Big East, but they did win the Big East last year, and the Hawks pretty much controlled that game and hung on late. So I think it was pivotal to get back to 500, and this tonight, an opportunity to build heading into a tough stretch of Philly Big 5 games.
Funk with what's a second bucket. 7-2 SJU, and Hall quickly establishing himself tonight. And a foul on Jacob Falco.
I just kind of wanted to see how the Hawks would look right out of the gate. Would they have an edge? No pun intended. Not talking about Obina. Would they just play like the better team? Which, talent-wise, they are. But, you know, when you're trying to rebuild the program, it takes a while for the guys in uniform to feel that and show up with the chip on your shoulder, which says, this is a game that we should control. And, you know, early in this season hasn't always been the case, including in this building. Tonight, an opportunity to see just how far along the Hawks are.
Now out to a good start. Hall makes 1 of 2. As half their points, Bertram, who's the son of a coach from up in Cooperstown, gets on the board for the first time tonight. He and Willis have combined for all 4 here early on, and we get a moving screen on the Hawks.
That's Funk, who after the dribble handoff kind of cut right across the path of Tinsley, the Clark Summit, PA native.
And Abington Heights kid, that's just outside of Scranton on the way up past Route 81.
Yeah, met the Abington Heights coach at a Scholastic Coaches versus Cancer event back in October. Yes, it did involve an 18-part meeting.
And I shouldn't say past I-81, it's off of I-81 as you go past Scranton. Hall contorting and stayed with the play.
It just looks more purposeful tonight, does Jordan.
Now you remember Sampson had the opposite effect when they cut his hair. Knocked out of bounds.
Ralph?
No, biblical Sampson.
I'd say Ralph Sampson didn't need much hair to be tall. And was it a week or two ago? There was one of those memory photos of you and he and I
From
right here from a radio game.
Yeah,
when his son was playing for the Gophers.
that's correct. Many moons ago. Shot clock down to 10. This is Jacob Falco. He's a former JUCO transfer. And ball knocked out of bounds, chased down by Tinsley. This is a Binghamton team that was only 4-14 a year ago under what was former Rider head coach Tommy Dempsey. Little Hawk connection there. John Griffin at one point was on his Rider staff. Obina exerting his will off a friendly drop.
And that's just simple, good, efficient offense. Enter the post, spread the floor, give your big man. The freshman Kowalczyk here with the basketball has played his best minutes as a freshman.
Forrest, great curl, and a better look. $11 now for Jack Forrest, which is a new season high. Averaged almost 9 points now the last 2 games.
It's a significant contribution if it can be maintained.
And that's one of those roles where, as Bertram misses this, he and Cam Brown can almost be interchangeable, you would think.
Well, and you look ahead to the post-Taylor Funk era, and the three-point shot and perimeter scoring so important to Billy Lang's offense. You'd really like to see Jack especially become that knockdown guy.
Couple of conference updates. St. Bonaventure was down 4 at the break to 1-9 Coppin State, now up 11 at the under 12 in the second half of that game. And Richmond by 14, about the midway point of the second half on Wofford. Helmerson with the rebound of the Forrest miss.
Richmond's been an enigma, Matt, that they've played really well against good teams and been in every one of those games and just not gotten over the hump. And now they're running out of opportunities as Binghamton gets whistled for an illegal screen.
And Richmond ended up blowing that game against Maryland a couple games ago. Then ended up getting Mississippi State to OT
and losing
that game.
Kind of been their story.
And of course, there was the opening week of the season loss to Utah State. That was in Annapolis. Nice find from Kowalczyk and Funk.
And a nice catch and switch of hands in traffic by Taylor to finish the play.
Now that early foul trouble, a very quiet 7 points for T. Funk tonight. Bertram off the rotation. That one just dies coming out of the hand. White able to lay it off the window. Big 5 update. LaSalle down big to Temple. 16-point deficit. Ooh! At the first media timeout of the second half is Kowalczyk with another miss.
We'll call that three-point shot a work in progress for Kotspur.
Helmerson with a bucket. First one of the evening for him. Update from the Palestra, Villanova by 15. Halfway gone in the second half of that one. Brown forced the issue, drew the contact. Cam Brown bumped not once, but twice on that play. Well, coaching staff liked what they got from Cam on Friday night defensively against Georgetown in his first start of the season, but wanted to see more at this end, and has responded tonight. Has been the Hawks' third leading scorer behind Hall and Obina. Overall, SJU 50% shooting tonight. Hawks have done a good job at the free throw line as Brown gets both. 76, almost 77% as a team this evening.
That 27-point margin was the Hawks' largest of the season. Through now almost 7 games.
Joe, 25-point game. We can do a little bigger picture here. Who surprised you most here a month into this, just about, in terms of, you know, the overall college basketball landscape? Who do you like?
Well, let's talk Atlantic 10 for the moment and give Dayton some kudos for winning that tournament in Orlando. I didn't tell you, I was at the Dayton-Kansas game while we were down there. It was a good, you know, bit of luck.
That was a fun little Black Friday matinee.
It certainly was. And then went away, came back. It was Thanksgiving Day, stuck around and went back for Belmont Drake that night to do a hit in my other life. And watching Dayton, it was hard to believe that they lost 3 bye games in a row at home. It looks like tonight they've rectified that problem against Alabama State. So Dayton, which has just like a crazy number of freshmen, like 12, I think.
Including a young man named Lynn Greer.
Yeah, how about that? Well, the Hawks have never had trouble with anyone with that name.
One of my all-time favorite Big Five players,
Agreed.
Joe. Kwachik. And it wasn't just the love of the Southpaw either. If he was in the building, he was
officially a month of college basketball.
Yeah, we'd love to hear that.
Followed by 3 more after that.
How can Homerson
and the Hawks go a little deeper in their bench here? Bam Tracy into the game, as well as C.J. Coleman. He's off the bike, Matt.
And folks were asking questions the other night,
including us.
Yeah, as to why C.J. didn't have as much time. Just a rotational thing. Billy Lang wanting to give Anton Jansen a chance at some minutes.
And I thought sometimes it's how you practice.
I thought actually played pretty well, given the opportunity. White challenged at the rim. Coleman got it the first time, but a rebound and a free throw line trip coming for Tinsley.
I'm not sure if that block goes to Coleman or Kwachik, but they were both up there. We'll get another look at it.
And it is, well, both of them. Both of them got it.
Exactly. So how do you chart that if you're the stat guy?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's got to be the first one, right? You can't give a half a block. It's not like a sack in football, right?
Probably.
You know, you tackle them high, I tackle them low. And what you'd like at this point from the Hawks, with, you know, a lot of deeper reserves on the floor, and Binghamton still with most of its regulars, you want to see the Hawks just keep their foot down and not get sloppy.
Go a little three-quarter court pressure, back it off.
Yeah, they don't have to play with as much pace now, and Binghamton's helping by sitting back in his zone for the first time.
And they go 2-3 with Helmerson and Falco at the top. Coleman, nice job to pass out of it. And Bishop takes the contact. And 7th Bearcat team foul. Hawks on the line the rest of the way.
A smart ball fake for Demir, who, you know, other times would just go up with that shot. a shot not in his wheelhouse.
Demir Bishop, the Imhotep Charter product. Xavier transfer to the free throw line. Imhotep Charter as Bishop misses and Coleman gets mauled.
He got hammered.
I was about to say Imhotep Charter, popular spot this summer
Apparently.
For pickup basketball.
I guess if you're in a movie.
Jordan Hall ended up running in some pickup games, although apparently Adam Sandler wasn't in those, but Adam Sandler was there.
A lot of guys from kind of recent Philly basketball royalty. Man, I can't believe you didn't get a call to come and stream that game.
Would have gladly accepted, I can tell you that much.
Squatch are going to get an over-the-back whistle here.
And there was a good stretch of a couple months where Adam Sandler was all over Philadelphia. But definitely a busy summer for Jordan Hall.
And for Sandler, his time of the year.
Tinsley got the kick out to Hinkson. Well, we talked A-10. You gave some props to Dayton. I mean, I think the first thing I noticed about them, you just look up and down their roster, they're just young.
Yeah, the other team in the league that has kind of caught my eye in a positive way, other than the obvious win by St. Bonaventure and the Charlotte.
Island in Cambridge tonight with a 49-38 lead on Harvard at the midway point of the second half in that one. And we get a foul call here on the inbounds. We'll finish out the scoreboard. GW by 2, inside 5 minutes left over BU, 52-50. Temple just opening this up on LaSalle. 25-point Owl lead, 56-31. Midway point of the second half in that one. And Richmond and Wofford tightening up. Spiders only by 6 at the 5-minute mark of the second half in that game. And over at the Palestra, it's Penn down 13 against Villanova tonight.
You know, that's...
Yep.
Like, we called it a big fight. Like, Villanova's been a top 5, top 10 program for like 5 of the last 7 years.
And it seems like their prototype, which now features Colin Gillespie, just seems to recycle itself.
It sure does.
24 for Gillespie tonight. Hawks will go to the Finn on Saturday.
Matt, I'm going to throw a little trivia at you from that Duquesne Bowling Green score.
Okay.
What former head coach at Bowling Green interviewed and was a finalist to be the head coach of the Hawks? Not this time. That's my hint. Not this hire.
I should probably know this, but I don't.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
All right, go ahead.
How about that Jim Larranaga?
Wow. Speaking of, we were just talking about
when John Griffin, the elder, became the Hawks head coach, succeeding Jim Boyle in 1990.
I think that worked out okay, not getting that job for Jim Larranaga.
I think it worked out pretty well for the Hawks, too.
4-minute mark here at the second half. Binghamton has got this inside 20. And good block for SJU. Bishop double teamed. Eric Reynolds calling out da, da, da.
Binghamton no longer in that zone, but both teams just kind of playing out the string here. You still want to see these guys execute like that.
This move on the block for Coleman, everything but the finish, stayed with the play and saved in bounds by Hinkson. Bishop took it right back from Falco. 6 now for Bishop. He found himself out of the rotation for minutes the other night against Georgetown. Billy Lang shaking things up a little bit. But now back into it tonight. Bishop with 15 minutes off the bench. Hawks have comfortably played 10 this evening, and 8 of the 10 have scored. More like 8, because Tracy and Coleman getting late minutes here with this game well in hand. Inside 3 minutes left. Matt Martucci, Joe Lenardi taking this one in. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving holiday. And maybe a Tupperware container or two with some leftovers.
I had a gobbler at a Wawa in Florida. I'm not kidding.
I know, I saw the picture on social media.
Not posted by me.
Nope. But you got to be with family.
I guess that would have been Mrs. Brackett's guilty of that.
That slippage.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to have that conversation.
I was just glad you were having a good time.
We were. A lot of people at Magic Kingdom that are my height.
You're not wrong. Up and under move for Bam Tracy.
And the characters are nice too. Matt, when have we had a laugher?
It's happened twice already in this young season. Spent portions of the Mount St. Mary's win talking about failed bus trips.
And we did.
Of years past.
I'm sure there's one coming. It's going to be winter.
Well, probably to Olean. 5 of the shot clock.
I'm coming to your house for that one.
Yeah, I guess that's one advantage of remote road broadcasts.
The only one.
I'll tell you, I've come to enjoy going over the years.
I had a stretch of that too. It was about 15 years ago. Offensively, we're pretty precise. And we've seen the result, a comfortable win and an easy second half.
Chris Arizin, Nikos Luna Nash, and Brian Geetons all newly in for SJU. The Hawks trifecta of walk-ons. And Tracy commits a foul here. And CJ Coleman figured the Hawks students came out. Might as well give them something entertaining toward the end of the game. Threw that one out of bounds.
And now we get Amos shooting a front end into that newly reversed student section, where the visiting team now has to fire at that basket in second half play.
Student body doesn't have to study for finals just yet, right? It's coming up.
Neither do we.
Yeah, that ship has sailed. Nikos Luna Nash with his first 2 in a Hawk uniform.
Good for him.
And I think the best thing is watching the reactions of the 10 Hawks that were in the rotation tonight when their teammates scored that pushed them in practice. And Chris Arizin will likely be the one to finish this basketball game.
And, you know, it's still a pretty important skill to be able to finish and score at the rim, and it's a dimension to Billy Lang's offense which didn't exist in his first 2 seasons.
Reynolds with the Hawks opening up 71% from the field. Couldn't get that to go, but they get it back. And Hall quickly turns it back over.
Hawks start 5 of 7. Binghamton 2 of 6.
Do have 3 early turnovers, though, do Billy Lang's guys. The southpaw McGriff, who's going to be Reynolds' matchup tonight with a little mid-range.
I don't remember him a ton from St. John's, but took note of his transfer to Binghamton.
Yeah, didn't play a whole lot. I think that's part of the reason why. Only 12 total points with the Red Storm. Falco off the kick out. Nice find for McGriff, and Funk quickly up the floor. Forrest, the trigger.
Man, as you look toward league play in the Big 5 games coming up, the Hawks could really use another guy to catch fire from the perimeter. And Forrest, to me, is the top candidate. You know, that's kind of his MO, if you will. Cam Brown, more of an all-around guard. Forrest is in there basically to be an offensive contributor. And in those games in California, he had a lot of good looks and just couldn't get anything to drop.
Yeah, best game of the season came against Georgetown on Friday. Funk, nice step back. Couldn't get it to stick, hit the heel.
The other thing with Jack is I don't think a lot of people remember. It was a pretty severe injury he had that cost him the last, 5-6 weeks of his first season for SJU. So I think he's going to get there. This is the end of the floor, though, where teams will take advantage of him at times.
Bertram got him with the contact, scored the basket, and headed to the free throw line. And this is an aggressive take for Tyler Bertram. Brief little stop and go.
He was briefly a Hawk target before he went to Charlotte, if memory serves.
Yeah, pretty good high school player. Almost 1,900 career points in the home of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Forrest, great find. Albina held the ball a little too low and got to take it away by Falco. Acceleration for him, and Hall and Funk with a little double team.
Could have been a goaltend slapping the backboard like that, and Taylor turns it over. And Binghamton a chance to continue this 5-0 mini spurt.
I think that was a case of wide eyes there for Taylor Funk. Saw Forrest open on the three-point arc and had a couple of options there. And they turn it over for the 4th time.
Some reinforcements. Bishop and Kotspur into the Hawk lineup as we got to look at that swat of the glass by Jordan Hall. He doesn't have to go up very high to put 2 hands on the glass. I'm told that's pretty fun.
Yeah, I would imagine it is. McGriff, acceleration to the cup. And quickly, Binghamton on a little mini run here.
7 straight now for the Bearcats.
Forrest forcing the issue, good body control.
And a smart play, you know, if the jumper isn't falling, and for the most part it hasn't for Jack. He's 3 of 17 from beyond so far this year. He's got enough bounce to get to the rim.
White with the soft touch, and we get the over the back foul on Tinsley.
See the movement, spread the floor. That's the Hawk offense to a T. Counting on the dribble drive, either get to the rim or kick it. And Jack Forrest converts. Hawks keep their lead.
Quachik and Funk, Hall and Forrest along with Bishop. Hall, good setup from Quachik.
He started the game with a 3 from there and has now missed 2 after that.
Bertram quickly returns the favor. Now this was the plan, to get the ball up the floor quickly. Run things fast at the Bearcats. Hawks have had good movement. Quachik well off target. McGriff, and that ball goes out of bounds off Quachik. who's a good conversation piece. I talked to Associate Head Coach John Griffin about him last night. I said that the first word that comes to mind when you see him come into the game, obviously knows what's going on, has a high basketball IQ, but I said he's jumpy, Joe. And John Griffin agreed with me a little bit. You know, he said his mind is about 4 steps ahead of everybody else, but he's just struggling to make plays right now. Ball comes around the horn. Helmerson. And the Iceland native with a quick miss. Hall with a lefty glide. Funk redirects.
This pace really favors SJU.
At Hawks by 5. It's for Jordan Hall. Forrest, maybe a little too much dribbling. Shot clock cut in half. Wanted the step back, good D for Bertram. Now down to 6. Kwachik trying it again. That one looked better than the first attempt, but still ice cold from the perimeter. 0 for 8 to open up his Hawk career, Kacper Kwachik.
I just think he's one of those guys, he's not ready yet to be a go-to guy, obviously, from the perimeter. And you watch him in practice and the jump shot is pretty spotty. I think he can do a lot of things. He just needs to slow down.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to our conversation as White with a nice finish at the rim of just, you know, being 3 or 4 steps ahead. He's used to the European game, used to playing with grown men over in Poland. And speaking of man's play, there's Bishop, score the basket plus the foul.
Demir didn't get any time against Georgetown. We were told that was just kind of the rotation that night. Some speculation that maybe he was a little bit banged up. Not showing any effects of it tonight. And again, the coaches love him off the drive. Don't love it so much when he plants out on the wings and takes standstill jumpers. But he can get to the basket.
Well, Bishop in a cluster of guys coming off the bench along with Jack Forrest, who were fighting for minutes. Gets 3 the old-fashioned way.
I love this defense. It's a 1-2-2. Speed Binghamton up a little bit. Take advantage of your length in the half court now. And just make the visitors uncomfortable. You know, Drexel, Monmouth, they both got the Hawks to play at their preferred pace. And we saw how those games turned out.
Falco got around. Kacper Kwachik recovered with a block. Bishop deep into the teeth of the Bearcat defense. Good rotation. Brown.
That is just great ball movement. And when you think of a Billy Lang offense, that was it on that last possession. 3 passes, tic-tac-toe, and a 3.
7th 3 of the year for Cam Brown, who needed that. Only shooting 22% from the perimeter coming in. All off the pinball in the lane.
Hawks doing a great job of limiting the Bearcats to 1 shot.
White with a good recovery after Funk with a nice back door. And Cam Brown running it down. Helmerson, nobody told him it was coming.
You got to get help from your teammates there, because the guy advancing the basketball is the least likely to know the defenders nearby.
Kwachik, and that's what he brings to the table. Knight had 24 in the game-winning 3.
The miracle that night was Lorenzo Edwards passed the ball.
Hall.
Wait, that was a foul.
With a swipe. And Funk off the quick trigger.
Jordan Hall flying around the court tonight.
That time Willis with a couple inches on Hall, out of bounds. He's on the baseline.
I yelled foul because after the steal in the end-to-end, somebody grabbed Demir Bishop. I thought it was McGriff as he was crossing half court, and he couldn't kind of take that pass in stride. Would have limited his yak yards after the catch.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of that Sunday.
No.
Wasn't a whole lot of offense, period.
Yeah, there was more like Y-A-K, not Y-A-C.
Right. Willis, and beating both Hall and Brown, got the dunk. 4 now for Yarden Willis. Funk getting around his man, Christian Hinkson, who's newly in for Binghamton. Good rotation this time, Bishop, and that's part of the reason why they don't want him too comfortable from the perimeter.
Well, and they chart Demir, and his makes on threes almost always come from the corners. For whatever reason, the wing and top of the key are not his happy place.
Demir Bishop only a 26% career three-point shooter as Hinkson going to the free throw line. From the Metro Atlantic to the America East for Christian Hinkson. Played a couple of years for Steve Masiello of Manhattan. Kind of an interesting thing they have going on there in the MAC. You have Rick Pitino's former assistant, Steve Masiello. You have King Rice, who was recruited by Pitino. Ultimately ended up going to North Carolina. And then you have Pitino back in the league himself.
Yeah, Iona's always been kind of on an island in that league, and even more so now with Pitino in New Rochelle.
Obina lost the handle, got it back under the basket, and a foul on Willis. Well, to finish the thought, though, Joe, I don't know if is Iona on an island in that league this year with what Monmouth's been doing lately.
And don't write off St. Peter's. They were good last year, good this year. There's just a level of athleticism, though, at Iona that's different. I'd like to see if we couldn't get those Gales in this building next year, or maybe as part of an event at another building in town.
If I recall, as Obina to the free throw line, they were on the schedule during one of the NIT years in the Tay Jones years. Iona had a big named David Lowry.
And they had a transfer from Arizona or Arizona State who was really good. They played up there maybe the night or two before Thanksgiving.
So that was
a triple-digit kind of game.
That was an overtime game.
And it was a loss.
But there was a home game here, either a year or two later. Mike Glover was the big man for Iona that year, and Scott Machado was their big guard.
Yep.
Obina makes this an 11-point game. 6 now for him. White got that deflected. And straight to the cup. And Dan Petcash with his first action of the night. Just his second game of the year for Petcash. And Brown quickly the other end, navigating the baseline. An answer from McGriff. But again, a pace that favors SJU. Hawks 11 made field goals, 9 of them have been twos. Much better for your teeth than turkey, right?
I guess.
Amos with the air ball.
I don't really think of turkey as being bad for your teeth.
No, not eating, but it gets stuck in your teeth.
It's not like you're eating a handful of M&Ms.
Fair. Obina with the wheel. And White able to take it away.
Be interested to see where the Hawks go behind Obina tonight. They used a lot of Anton Jansen in the Georgetown game. It had been C.J. Coleman mostly before that. And tonight, when Edge took a break, it was Kotspur in the middle.
Yeah, Billy Lang sticking with primarily an 8-man rotation Friday night. Ooh, Brown, full extension, and got hit on the arm there by Petcash. Griff will back it out. Bryce Beamer, who's a junior from Tampa, at the scorer's table with Tyler Bertram for Binghamton. Amos right around Hall. Score it plus the foul. And that's one of those plays if you're Jordan Hall, if you're beaten that badly,
you get out of the way.
Just get out of the way.
It's kind of the natural instinct to remain competitive on any play, thinking that you haven't given up the layup. But the Hawks' Achilles heel on defense this year, if you can call it that, is the ability to stop smaller guards off the dribble.
Amos.
Because they don't really have a player like that of their own to put on.
So Kellen Amos, the sophomore from Houston, couldn't get the three-point play. Hall comes right back.
And meanwhile, most teams the Hawks play don't have a guy who can stop that either.
Not consistently anyway. No. 10 now for Jordan Hall, who had 13 in his entire 37 minutes the other night against Georgetown. McGriff setting up Beamer, well off target. That smacked the backboard and a foul on Tinsley, says Tony Crisp.
I'll say this, Matt. If Jordan Hall is under control and efficient, and we'll see it here, the Hawks not only could be a good team, they could be very good. Because no one else in the league has the game and the style and the physical tools of Jordan Hall at his position. He's the X factor.
Well, I'm liking short hair Jordan Hall. 10 points to go with 6 boards and an assist, and followed his own miss.
Look at that pass.
Somebody's open. Hinkson, though, rotated. Shot clock cut in half. Hall nearly traveled, finding Forrest. 5 off the bench for the Lower Merion product in the Columbia transfer. New largest St. Joseph's lead. But quickly to the basket, Amos with 4 off the bench. Kellen Amos, pretty good prep player in high school down in Houston. Given the Guy Lewis Award in high school, goes to the top player in the Houston area. Nice entry from Forrest, and Obina headed to the free throw line.
What I really like there is the interior pass from Forrest. I mean, we'll get a look at it. Oftentimes Jack's instinct is shoot first, which it should be, but when you have that near the rim, a near 7-footer who can finish against pretty much anybody, have to feed it. And he's a good foul shooter, which means we jinxed him.
No, you didn't.
Well, I tried to take the jinx away.
Reverse jinx there.
Yeah. Kind of a veteran color man move there, man.
All right.
Like a politician has to walk back up, you know, stump speech or whatever.
I gotcha. Both free throws for Obina. Hawks again by 12 on the Bearcats. 3/4 of the way through the first half. Matt Martucci, Joe Lenardi, and there's Bryce Beamer. Only his third 3 of the year. Had been 2 of 12 coming in. And Hawks lead back to single digits again.
I think the Hawks can live with that.
I mean, scouting report recognition says you probably let him take it based on percentages. And Obina right around Beamer. Footwork you very much for Edge. Late on the close, Obina 6 straight for Beamer.
Might be time to adjust that scouting report a bit.
But Amos can't stop Hall. Reynolds crashing in. Forrest, an opportunity. And quickly rebounded by Bertram. Eastern Shore was allowed to hang out in the opener. Want to try and shut the door as quickly as you can if the opportunity presents itself. Beamer, this time better close for Obina, and hit the top of the support. Hall and Obina, Jack Forrest, Cam Brown, Eric Reynolds, the second for SJU. Reynolds, I think, established a pivot foot there and then switched it.
It was close.
But the referee chose to let that go, I think. Hall got it caught on the hip. Shot clock down to 6. Brown. And was backing up like that was going down. And that's off Hall and out of bounds.
Buck spent a lot of effort on that possession trying to turn it over. And did not. And the missed shot, a little poetic justice as Binghamton played pretty good defense.
The Bearcats have hung in with almost 45% shooting, actually outshooting the Hawks by a little bit. Amos got hit on the arm, and
you hate to see your big man commit a foul like that, but 14, 15 feet from the basket.
And a shot that, just based on the closeout by Obina, Amos would probably have missed anyway. Kellen Amos with the headband that almost looks like one of those masks you wear on a plane when you're trying to sleep.
And now if you have one of those, you have to put it down over your nose and mouth.
That's true. Thinking about more of the eye masks, but Brown, second chance. 7 down for Cam Brown.
You look up and you think, hey, the Hawks seem to have been in control the entire half, but it's only an 8-point spread. 6-point spread.
McGriff. Now 6 for John McGriff. Hall, lackadaisical with the basketball. Falco in for the flush.
He thought Obina was going to go and get it, did Jordan Hall, and I mean, that's his play to make. He's the guard at the high post.
Well, they run the pick and roll, but nobody there. Brown, and beating him.
Should point out the Hawks are doing all this without the leading scorer in the league, Taylor Funk, who's been on the bench much of the half with 2 fouls.
12 first half minutes for Funk, but we haven't seen him in a while since he picked up that second one. Bertram off the rotation. Long and Hall with what's his 8th rebound of the basketball game, already in double-double territory, just about. 10 points to go with 8 boards. Forrest. Second one of the night. And leaves the Hawks enough time to get another possession here with a stop. McGriff knifing this time across his body, but Obina's length
play for one.
The difference.
Shot clock is off.
Couple double-figure scores for Billy Lang's guys. Hall and Obina have combined for 20 as we finish out this first half.
Tough guard for Bertram here, taking on Hall. Excuse me, Falco.
Hall.
3 and 23.
Hung it up there, stayed with it. Beating Wofford 36-26 to start the second half. Speaking of starting second halves, Funk.
Yeah, Taylor uncharacteristic, 2 points, 4 turnovers, 2 fouls in that first half. Nice to see him get on track as he leads the league at just over 19 points per game.
Hawks back to their largest lead of the night by 12. Their next opponent in the Holy War Saturday, Villanova leading by 12 on top of Penn, 33-21 tonight.
Back-to-back trips to the Palestra for the Wildcats.
Yeah, looked pretty good Sunday night.
Ooh.
Travian White taking the inbounds. Binghamton shot clock down to 7. Falco lost the ball. Good D by Hall to stand his ground. Bertram, though, trickling in to get the follow attempt. Finally, Funk able to clear.
Thought maybe that was a shot clock violation.
And apparently Bertram got it off with 1 to shoot. Nice drop off, Obina. Third assist of the basketball game for Jordan Hall. And edge now with what's 12.
Hawks continue to dominate the glass, limiting all second chance opportunities. The Bearcats still looking for an offensive rebound.
Hall got a good look from the wing. Bertram and Falco, McGriff, Tinsley, and White. Out there for Binghamton, Jordan Hall, Eric Reynolds II, Cam Brown, Ejike Obina, Taylor Funk for SJU. McGriff, that mid-range off the step back was working in the first half, gets another.
It's kind of an unguardable shot, really, unless you want to overplay and force the ball out of his hands and risk double teaming.
Funk on the peel back toward the wing. That caroms toward Brown, and it finally sticks down on the follow. Cameron Brown becomes what's the third Hawk in double figures tonight. 11 for Brown. He, Obina, and Hall, 33 of the 49 for SJU tonight, make it the 51. Bertram lost the basketball. Reynolds ready to capitalize, and the take foul for McGriff.
With the speed of Reynolds, Binghamton had no choice but to foul. We've said before that Reynolds adds an element. And talk about elements. Obina. It's a couple of those for the big guy.
Eric Reynolds matching up with a fellow Maryland freshman the other night, Amir Muhammad. He was the Big East preseason freshman of the year. A couple of Temple Hills, Maryland guys. Another guy, by the way, who had a pretty good collegiate career from Temple Hills. Go all the way back to Fab 5-2 under Brian Ellerby. Young man named Lewis Bullock, who hit 339 career threes at Michigan.
You would have stumped me on that one.
Reynolds hitting a 3 of his own.
If he hits 330 career threes, he's going to be a Hawk Hall of Famer.
Well, we'll start with career 3, number 6.
He'd settle for half that.
New largest lead for SJU. And Reynolds.
Lazy foul there by the freshman.
And he knows it.
The score now, 17-point margin, I think is more reflective to the overall play that we've seen through 23 minutes.
Every Hawk, by the way, now with the Reynolds basket that's been on the floor tonight has scored. And there's McGriff again, that same step back.
What are you going to do? Like we said, you can run another guy at him. And there are certainly players on the floor that you could double off of for Binghamton, but you'd like to think, you know, an Atlantic 10 guard would be able to keep McGriff from scoring at will.
Hall just had to set that up a little bit better. Amos got all the way to the tin, but couldn't finish.
Continued pushing of the pace by SJU, I think in large part because they have dominated the defensive glass. So the transition from defense to offense has just been there.
And there's another one. Half. And what was a single-digit halftime lead has now moved up to what's 17 points. Hawks on a 17-4 run in almost the last 6 minutes.
Taylor Funk started it with an open three to start the half, and now 2 more dunks inside from Obina, who shows his defensive moxie right there against Willis.
SJU winning the glass, now plus 12 in that category. Obina with a nice face-up, but that time Willis with the length and forces the tie-up. And right back.
Guys doing the passing know that. And he becomes an obvious target.
Amos got that blocked. Brown, not enough separation. Good D by Falco. Hall drew the contact on Tinsley, who picks up a third.
Hall quiet offensively in the second half, but controlled the first half with 10 points and 9 rebounds, which would be a full night for a lot of guys.
Yeah, he's up to 10 and 11 now. Tinsley maybe just got him on the arm late. Hawks have the potential to have 2 guys with double-doubles tonight. Obina 14 points to go with 6 rebounds. All now official box score. 12 points and what's 11 boards. Three double-figure scorers and a comfortable 19-point lead. Quarter pole here of the second half. Willis, couple of screens on Reynolds. And nice rotation by Funk. Numbers for the Hawks. Hall. And a free throw line trip coming.
I think Hall wanted to make one extra pass after the outlet he received from Funk, but there wasn't really an open angle for the bounce pass he wanted to throw, so he took it straight up to the rim, and why not?
You know something I noticed, Joe, and maybe it's just it's a product of only being in 6 or 7 games now, almost 7 games into his Hawk career. Eric Reynolds gets caught up in a lot of ball screens.
Interesting. Well, he's kind of slight so far. They'll work on it.
1 of 2 for Hall.
I think he's a willing defender. I just
absolutely
don't think that.
is. Just an observation.
Yep, fair.
Not being negative, just an observation. McGriff tried to save that and threw it right into the backcourt. Amos out of bounds.
He almost tripped over the ball when he went to pick it up. It's been that kind of a second half for the visitors.
Missing a little length tonight.
Yeah, I don't know that the Hawks have actually played markedly better here in the second half. I just think that, you know, the Bearcats just kind of collapsed. Yeah, that turnover being emblematic of it.
Lavelle Sanders normally has an 11-man rotation. They've played 10 tonight as Tinsley gets the block. Okenayele Akuovo, who's a native of Nigeria and a transfer from Howard, out of the lineup tonight for undisclosed reasons.
Well, and a big miss defensively against Obina, obviously, to go size on size. Konowovo had been averaging a little over 16 minutes a game, shooting 60% from the floor, 7.5 points. So a significant absence as I look down the Binghamton bench and see him on the end of it in street clothes.
Obina, good screen. Reynolds could see that from the moment it left his hands. It was a little wide right. And this is kicked out of bounds. Christian Hinkson back in. Kacper Kłacik about to come in for SJU.
As we saw in the first half, Kacper getting the minutes behind Obina at the 5. And it is a smaller Binghamton team. Billy Lang kind of matching up that way tonight. He went big to start against Georgetown.
Hinkson.
And against Southern Cal with Coleman and Obina together.
CJ Coleman even over there, Joe?
He's there. Well, he was there in the first half anyway. But you're right, I don't see him.
Kłacik with his second field goal of the night.
He's on the bike in the corner.
Oh, there he is. McGriff hanging up.
That's kind of a bailout call there. Kacper's got to get to the point where he's aware enough. Like, the guy's not going to score from that angle on his offhand. We saw Kacper's layup at the other end.
And there's CJ Coleman. You can see him right next to the Hawk, Alec Kerr.
And they're both getting a workout. Alec with some big-time TV time over the weekend.
Apparently hit the golf course quite a bit this summer too, from what he told us.
Well, I know I saw him a couple times, and I'm rarely there.
He ended up randomly in a foursome with a groomsman for my wedding. 18-point SJU lead. Nice spin cycle for Kłacik. 6 now for the native of Warsaw, Poland. Amos with a bad miss. Hall leaking out. Little cherry pick and some icing.
Kłacik made the play, though, in his best minutes as a young Hawk. And this game's now officially getting off the rails for Binghamton.
And Hawks looking to continue to push the pace. Bishop, actually, that's a good pass up of that shot, even though that's the highest percentage for him. We talked about the corner threes. Forrest already with a couple. .22 points is the largest in terms of Hawks leads tonight. That's one thing. Binghamton was, allowed to hang around late in the first half, but the Bearcats have never had a lead at any point tonight.
No, and this is now going much more the way of the Mount